What's going on, YouTube family? This your boy Master Music coming in, just checking up on everybody, and just to let everybody know what's been going on in my world last couple of weeks since I've last made a video. Um, let's see, last weekend I celebrated homecoming at my alma mater, North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University, the A&T Aggies, Aggie Pride. That's where I graduated from in 2007. Had a good time, had a blast at homecoming. Probably overdid it, so I had to really come back and get focused once homecoming was over. Um, Last Wednesday, I had to go to the hospital where I'm having my RNY gastric bypass surgery, Rex Hospital in Raleigh, to do my pre-testing and registration stuff and all that. That took about 2 hours. Um, I had to you know, do insurance stuff. They already had that on file, verify all of that, and um, they did my armbands for the day of surgery, and then I had to go in the back and answer a million questions. It seemed like had to get my vitals done. Everything was good with that. My blood work and stuff was still good from what I did in the beginning of September. So, nothing to worry about that. They used my EKG from when I had my physical earlier this year. Um, she went to go check it with the lady that was sitting beside her, and everything was fine with that. I was kind of like, well, don't you need to do a new one to see what's going on? But I mean, yeah, it's all right. Um, let's see what else. Shoot, from me taking that medicine that I was on for my knee, and probably going overboard, and I'm probably about it having a good time at homecoming. And I put on mm, about 5 or 6 pounds, so my weight had went up to four, like 400, 401 when I stepped on the scale that day. It was 400. Um, so then it was the same thing when I went over to my nutrition class and stepped on the scale. So I'm like, okay, well, got to do something about it. Um, let's see, still being over doing the pre-testing stuff, I had to have some blood drawn for a typing screen in case I need a blood transfusion or anything during the surgery or whatever, after the surgery. Excuse the shakiness. I'm using my laptop this time. I didn't feel like grabbing my iPad or anything that I normally do my videos on, so it might look a little blurry when you see it, but we're gonna do the best I can do. Um, that was about it from the pre-test and stuff. I saw where I had to come up the day of surgery, and I think I'm the first case of the day because I had my surgery on Friday at 7:15 in the morning. I got to be there at 5:15 in the morning. So um, I checked that. It's a pretty big hospital, bigger than the one I work at, way way larger. I mean, they have several parking decks. I mean, so many different units. I mean, it blew my mind. I'm just used to my little old small time hospital, but which is pretty big in itself. But I mean, compared to that one, I mean, I was a small time. Um, then I went across the street to my surgeon's office to see my nutritionist, Mary Green. We have a new one, Jennifer. Can't quite remember her last name. She's fairly new. We had to take over our products, our vitamins and protein powders and all that stuff to get checked off and approved. Not you had to buy it in the office because you couldn't leave out that day without having your stuff. Pretty much everybody that was in there in the class with me already had surgery dates and were well on their way to getting ready to be prepared to have their surgery. When I went in, I weighed the same thing I weighed on the scale before, so I was like, okay, bam, it's 400 pounds, but my BMI didn't change. So um, we sat in, and I mean, we talked about pretty much, mixing your shakes, what to do on your liquid diet, what to do pre-surgery, and what to do on your liquid diet after surgery, and how to, puree foods when you go into that stage. And I mean, just going through all of that, just pretty much getting you prepared in the mindset for life after surgery. Um, let's see. I had this lady in there. She was tripping me out. Well, she had a million and one questions, but there's no such thing as a dumb question. So we think. I think it's plenty of dumb questions, but she had a bunch. But it was very informative for me. And so after that, I went in and they took us in the office because we have a group session room, classroom where we have the classroom. So we went in the office, and as you went in, they took a picture of you from the front and from the side, and you had to hold up your thing with your name and birthday and all that. So I took my picture, and it was like, "All right, Garrett." It was like, you're getting ready. Surgery's in a week, so that was exciting. And then they gave us little shaker cup. Just I have my protein shake. Got to finish the last little bit of it in there, but you see it has Rex Hospital on it. So they gave us the smaller one. I have a larger one already, but I just make shakes in both of them. Shake it up. Right now I'm drinking a chocolate muscle milk protein shake. So it's pretty good. I like the chocolate muscle milk. The bariatric advantage vanilla isn't too bad either. I'm doing pretty good, but okay, going on, moving on. I'm going to get into my whole liquid diet. I'm rumbling. I don't really have a set agenda when I'm talking about. I'm just talking, catching you up. The next day, I had to go to Raleigh again. I live an hour away, so I had to travel to Raleigh again, and this time I had to see my surgeon for the last time. So he came in and he said, he's like, all right, Gary, he's a very nice guy. The surgeons in our office, I mean, they are real deal, legit, like straight up on it in that order. I mean, I really, 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 really enjoyed them. And my surgeon is Dr. Lindsay Sharp, and he came in and we sat and talked. Well, before that, I'm jumping the gun. I was weighed again. This time I weighed 402. So I was like, okay, well, tomorrow's my liquid diet, so it's time to really get it in and get that off. But checked my vitals, everything was fine with that. He came in, we talked, and he was like, okay, with surgery, checked and made sure, okay, I was having the gastric bypass, and then he put me on the exam table, examined my stomach, and rubbed around it, and then he just told me some things to look forward to, and said I'm going to do very good. He was proud of me and all of that. That appointment didn't really take too long. I had to wait out in the waiting room a while to see him, probably about 30 minutes. But then I saw him, and after that, I went over to support group. I went to my last support group that I had to go for the program, and we were divided in four circles, and I was in the group with, we have mentors who've had the surgery before, and so I was sitting in between two men. One name was Jerry, and the other name was Tom and Jerry. How ironic, and they both had the surgery. Jerry was almost 3 years out, and Tom was about 18 months out. They both had the gastric bypass, and so they really clinged to me because I was the guy in the group. And we had another lady in the group. She was talking to the ladies. Everybody was talking to everybody, but they really, kind of went over and was mentoring me or whatever, and just whatever questions I had. And I mean, I picked their brain, they picked mine, and it was really well. They both looked phenomenal. So then after we did our little session in the middle, because they was just saying, asking us reasons why we wanted to take that route, and everybody stated, and it just really got me to thinking. And before I went in there, I just looked in the mirror and I'm like, okay, it's it's time to shed this extra person you're toting around. And I mean, I've been toting this boy around for a long, long, long time. I mean, and I can't go on living this way. I really can't. Um, I just think about my adult years, all of my 20s, and how my weight has been up and down, just yo-yoing up and down. And I mean, I was like, I can't go on like this. I was like, you have really, this is do or die time, and you ain't about to die, so you have no choice but to do it. And damn it, I'm about to do it. I'm really about to do it. So after hearing the speaker speak, she was phenomenal. She was about 3 years out, gastric bypass, and she's been running all these marathons, and she has a newfound energy. I mean, she really said some key things that stuck in my brain about, making that change and never going back. She was like, you make that change and don't look back. Keep going forward and know why you're doing this, and don't waste your time nor your money if you're not going to be committed. And I'm the type of person, I don't like wasting my money, one, but with me having this tool, I'm going to work the tool, work the shit out of it actually. Um, so going on to my liquid diet, I started, the last meal I had ironically was, I had some chicken supremes. Anybody familiar with Bojangles? I had that, and I had some potato rounds. It was the last thing I had, and I made sure I was done with that. Last thing I ate was like at 7:30. So got up Friday morning. Was back to work after being on vacation for 2 weeks, and started my liquid diet. So I had all my protein powders. I got my sugar-free Jello, sugar-free pudding. I have the Swanson's broth. Let me tell you, that shit is nasty. Mm. Uh, I don't really cook with broth because I make my own if I'm, making it. But it tasted just like the box it was in. And one thing that's been my friend is wonton soup. I don't eat the wontons. I never ate the wontons, but just the broth out of the wonton soup is just amazing. So I started that. The first day was rough. I got back to work, and I mean, people was not aware that I had started my liquid diet, and so in radiology, it was ragtag week, and they had all sorts of food. As I'm taking my patients over to X-ray and stuff like that, it was, I went to ultrasound, and the guy was like, "Oh, I love chocolate pound cake." He was like, "Gary, get you some chocolate pound cake." I was like, "I've started my liquid diet," and he was like, "Dang, well, you want me to puree it for you?" And I was like, "No." And then I went over into like X-ray, and they had all these different sandwiches and pizza, and that's when I knew that my willpower and determination was strong, because I could have just bulked and went right on in and had a slice like that. But what good was that gonna do me? It wasn't gonna do me no good at all. So I just knew right then that, damn it, you serious about this? Because I just really never knew how much food consumed me. Never knew. Well, shit, I could look at myself and know how food consumed me because of the weight I gained. But food really had took me over. I mean, it was just like I was living to eat. Like, just going in. I would go to buffets, go to just just looking at just all the stuff I was just taking. I was like, wow. So just being on this liquid diet. So starting my liquid diet, I started at 4:02. Well, going up into 3 days into my work weekend, Sunday, I'm on my liquids. I stepped on the scales, which are all accurate. I stepped on three of them, and it gave me the same thing. I had went down to 389 pounds, so that took me down 13 pounds in 3 days. So um, I'm just gonna keep working from there. I've already got things in place. Just working out. Went and took me a good walk with some dumbbells, and as soon as I get cleared to work out after my surgery, I'm hitting it with my personal trainer, and finna definitely do me and do the new me. Everybody, everybody's asking me right now, are you scared? Are you nervous? And I'm like, no. I might have a little bit of anxiety when it comes right to it. That's just natural. But no, what scares me is not living the life that I've been living and not wake up the next day, having a heart attack in your sleep, anything like that. That's something to be scared about. So making that change, people ask my mom, well, are you nervous or scared about your son having the surgery? And then my mom said, no, I'm scared about his weight. I'm scared about the way, the the way he is now. He's not all that extra huge. However, but if he keeps going on in that spiral, if he got out of control, I could lose my son. So I'd rather have a healthy son than to have to bury my son. He's not even 30. So that's just some of the things. And ironically, I've not had many naysayers in this. I've pretty much had a strong support system. I've had a couple people, why are you doing this? You're beautiful. You're beautiful the way you are. You don't have to do that. Just, But this is also coming from people who tried to have the surgery themselves and chickened out. It's different strokes for different folks. Everybody got their reasons, and I got mine. Some people who had it, I want to look pretty. I don't have self-esteem issues. I'm very confident. Uh, very confident. It's just that being the new me, and hell, and just getting into the new me, and it's gonna take some adjustment. It definitely is, but like I said, I'm ready. I think I've talked and rambled enough. Just giving you updates. It's the longest video I've ever made, but again, I just thank everybody who supported me throughout my journey, who's going to continue to support me throughout my journey. I really got to give a shout out to my big sis, seeing less of me, Michelle. I mean, she texts me, checks up on me on the regular. I mean, just asking me how I'm doing. I mean, she's definitely been a big support. I gotta give a shout out to George. He's kept me motivated. Just everybody else, anybody who supported me. I've enjoyed watching everybody's videos, watching everybody's journey, and like I say, the best is yet to come. So everybody be blessed, and I will see you later on in the week as I make another video before I have surgery. Bye.